Hello everyone, I'm Chrissy, one of your fellow estheticians at Bay Area Cosmetic Dermatology. Today's shelter-in-place activity that I'm going to share with you is cleaning your makeup brushes. Tell me honestly, when was the last time you did this? I can't say I remember the last time I did mine. I am very guilty, but in today's world, we want to practice safe antibacterial precautions, and as we are not supposed to be touching our faces, we certainly don't want to be using these bacteria infested makeup brushes on our faces every day. So first I'm going to show you a couple of things that I've brought to the kitchen. One is Dr. Bronners Soap suds that I like to use as a basically all over multi-purpose solution for everything from washing my clothes to my dishes to the bathrooms, kitchens, floors. You can even wash your car. So this is my go-to. I'm also going to show you how to use our Color Science Pro brush cleaner, which is an alcohol, mostly alcohol-based product, very good for antibacterial. And it's something that they like you to use weekly. So first things first, I've brought you my brushes I just showed you. I also brought my Clairsonic. It's got a little bit of makeup on it from not doing a very good job cleaning it off. And a body brush. So I am going to also dry everything on this silicone mat. This is something that I use to go over the sink. It dries my dishes every day. It dries my fruits and vegetables when I rinse them off. And today it's going to dry these makeup brushes. So very nice all-purpose little mat here. I'm gonna start with a glass. I'm gonna fill it with salt suds, which I also keep in a glass container next to the sink because it's my dishwasher brush or my dish soap. So I like to get a sudsy glass of water, and I like to just take all of my brushes and set them upside down in the water. And as you can see, all that color is already coming out of these not so clean brushes. And this I like to let soak for a little bit. And by doing this, I kind of let that dirt and oil loosen up. Look at the color of that water. I'll probably wash this in a different way. I usually take something like a silicone sponge, put a little salt suds on it, and really just scrub it back and forth on this silicone sponge. These silicone sponges are also very versatile. You can, if you don't have a dishwasher at home, which I don't, you can actually put them in a pot of boiling water to sanitize them, which I'll do after I do this. When my Clairsonic is sitting in the shower, it gets a little bit dirty in the inside, much like your toothbrush if you ever take a look. You have a automatic toothbrush. I'm going to give the inside a little bit of a scrub. This body is going to get a little bit of a scrub down. And then these brushes, I'm just going to one by one clean off the excess, a little bit extra soap. Do a little wax on, wax off technique as to not misshape these brushes. So one by one, go through all of your brushes. This one actually has a little smudger on the other end, so make sure we get that dipped in there. Kind of washed off. This one's a little comb, has a little bit of makeup in it. And overall, this shouldn't take you much time. There's no reason why you shouldn't be able to do this once a week. I'm definitely guilty of not committing to that amount of time, but perhaps now I will, considering these are touching my face every day. So I'm just going to dump out this dirty water. Going to fill it up once more. Kind of see how I did with color coming out of the brushes. Actually looks pretty good. Give them a little extra stir. You can just kind of keep rinsing out until the water is clear, and make sure that all that soap doesn't get stuck in the brushes. These all look pretty good. I'll give them a final wash on their handles. Touch these every day. And while you're at it, it would be a good idea to also kind of wipe down your makeup containers. Those tend to get a lot of hand use, and your makeup actually harbors a lot of bacteria, so you really want to make sure that you are not using it for longer periods of time. If you have stuff that's been in your drawers for over a year, I would say toss it and get something else. It's really important to get all the water out of these, and it's also important to not let them sit with the water in them overnight. That can often lead to bacteria and mold getting into your brushes. So they often might smell like an old sponge or have that sour smell to them. So I want to make sure that they're nice and fluffy. And you can also speed up the process of the drying time by even taking a little bit of a low setting of a hairdryer to it. They're nice and fluffy. And if you find that you're kind of rubbing these back and forth on a towel and you still see color, feel free to go back and give it an extra rinse. Some brushes are dirtier than others, so you may even have to wash more than once, twice, 3 or 4 times, depending on how long it's been. These ones are smaller, so they don't take too much. pulls nice and laid out. Skipped one here. That one's still showing a little bit more color, so I'm gonna give it another swirl. It's a small but concentrated brush, so soften out. And now these are all setting out to dry. For the Color Science spray, you can actually spray directly onto the brush. And typically, if you're doing this on a weekly basis, you can actually take a paper towel or a towel and kind of brush it along, brush out the color. And then air dry it. And that's how you do it. So now I have all of these, oops, there you go. I have all of these brushes kind of laying out. The sun's gonna kind of hit it and speed up the process of the drying time, and that's it. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and make sure that you're washing your hands, but also washing your brushes. Thank you.